How's it going, y'all? Today we're going over the dbal D2 we have at home. This is my 300 blackout, and this is my setup for my night vision shooting with it, with the laser and emitter. I also have a white light here. Some people would probably say, why don't you just go with the Surefire Vampire? Well, at night, when you want to use your night vision, your IR emitter, and then all of a sudden you need to use your white light, you have to sit up here and twist everything around, when all I have to do is not hit my emitter and come up and hit my white light. So that's the reason that I went with this rather than a Vampire from Surefire. This is a budget setup, and we'll go over the price later on. It's not exactly the cheapest thing in the world, but it's a lot cheaper than most laser and emitter combos. The laser that I'm using is the LS117IR. It takes AA batteries. It's got 6061 T6 aluminum housing. The switches here, you have remote, off, and momentary. You have on, off, and remote momentary using a pressure switch. Now, there is no switch on the actual light that you can press, a pressure switch that you can press to activate it. So you will have to get a pressure switch itself. The output is 0.7 milliwatts, and the price for it is $317 MSRP. I got mine for right around $250, I think like $270, I believe, actually. So it was right around $270. The ounces of it is 4.76 ounces. That comes in later on. We'll discuss why I'm telling you how much it weighs. And that's it for the laser. Now, the head that I'm using is a Weltool LH6 IR. The head for the IR emitter, it's a Weltool LH6 IR. It has a 2000 milliwatt output. It fits on Surefire bodies. You can use the 300 or 600 body style. You can use, it takes multiple options for batteries. You don't have to be stuck to one battery for it. And it costs $128. Now, for the throw for this, I have a tree line that's about 250 yards from my backyard, or from my back porch, and it lights up that pretty well, and I'm able to identify things. I actually killed the coyote last night, and I was able to identify it very easily with this emitter. This is my barn about 75 yards away. There's vehicles driving in the background, about 200 yards behind me. But this is my barn. Sorry, I can't get any better camera shots. This thing sucks. I don't have anything to video it, but this is without any IR illumination. Now, this is about 75 yards to my barn with the IR illuminator spotlighted on the middle door. Sorry again about the bad camera. I just don't have anything to film night vision with. But this is 75 yards to my barn, and that's a pretty good spotlight there on it with some pretty good spill too. Now, this is to a tree line that is about 100 yards away with another tree line behind it that's another 150. Between these two trees here, there is a little barn you can barely make out without the IR. Now, this is to a tree line that is about 100 yards away with another tree line behind it that's another 150. Between these two trees here, there is a little barn you can barely make out without the IR. Now, you can definitely see the little barn about 100 yards, 110 yards away with the IR illuminator on. With the spotlight is a little low, but you can still see it pretty good. The light from the emitter is kind of low, but like I said, you can still see it pretty good, and that's pretty good throw, like hot spot on it. So let me move it to another part where you can see that good throw. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but that's about 200 yards away is the tree line, and the throw is really good on that tree line at about 200 yards. It doesn't show up well with my camera on my iPhone and then my PVS 14, but if you're looking just through the PVS 14, it shows up really well. Now the body that I'm using, it comes from a Surefire Scout Dual Fuel Pro. You can use any body that the head is capable of. It's just I had this with me at the time, so I went ahead and used the Scout body, the Dual Fuel Pro Scout body. But like I said, any of the bodies I can take, like any of the bodies I can take heads from Weltool or Surefire or Mod Light, those bodies will work just fine with this. This configuration itself with the light and the head is about 5.62 ounces. The body here, it cost, the Surefire was about $350 total, but you can get, like I said, other bodies and much cheaper ones. Like the Weltool W65 is $32, so that will make it a lot cheaper. Then you'll have to get a tail cap for being able to plug in a switch, or if you want to go without a switch and just you do manual. But the reason that I went with a switch is because I went with this tape switch here, which is the Axon Sync by Unity, and if I press the button up here, it fires both the laser and the IR Illuminator. If I hit this button here, it fires just the laser. The weight of the switch is 1.6 ounces and the price of it is $175. However, there are cheaper switches out there that you can use if you want to just use it for the laser. There's also other switches out there that can hit both the laser and the illuminator. I just wanted something smaller because I'm on a smaller rail, and there are other options out there for switches. Now, total weight of this comes in at 11.9 ounces. The illuminator, the laser, and the switch all comes in at 11.9 ounces. The reason I bring up that weight is because, like, the dbal D2, D3. Anyway, that dbal weighs only about 12.5 ounces. So this weighs less than that, 11.9 ounces. So that is a pro in my opinion, that it's lighter than that, and I still have a white light on here. Now, the price of this altogether with the Surefire light is $923. Now, if you purchased a separate body, if I went with, say, the Weltool body, then it's only costing me $608 for this whole setup. The dbal itself costs $1,768. That's on that's the lowest I could find the price for the dbal, and that's if you can find it in stock anywhere. And this is working just fine. I can't adjust the illuminator to be more pinpoint or more flood, but it works great with pinpoint or flood. I mean, it works just fine for what I've needed it to. Like I said last night, I took a coyote with it, I've taken hogs with it, I've taken multiple coyotes with it, I've taken little critters that I don't want around my garden with it, and so I mean it's working just fine. It may look jank, it may not be cool, it may be for the pores, but it's cheaper, it's lighter, and it works well. Now we're going to get into the end of the video. Since we're here, I have affiliates now. There's a link down below to a link tree that takes you to my links for my affiliates. The two that I have right now are Optics Planet and Bear Creek Arsenal. So if you click on those and you purchase anything, I do get a little bit of a kickback for that, and it will help out the channel. Other ways to help out the channel is you can donate if you would like to. There's ways to do it down below. You don't have to, out of the goodness of your heart. If you'd like to, there's ways to do it down below. Do the like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Give this to people that are looking into budget options for illuminators and lasers. That's it. Navy Sooner out.